Morning folks, Tuesday morning. So yesterday, well Sunday night this was, I realised that apart from having a day off the other week when I was ill, which doesn't really count as a day off I suppose when you're ill, but I quickly realised that shoot, I've got to 22 days on the bounce, and I've kind of not been sticking to the idea that I set in my head a while ago, is making sure that at least every now and again you get a day off. So yesterday I'm like, right, well I'm just gonna have a day off today. That started really well, and it was a chilled morning, and to be honest with you, I checked out Pink Bike, Vital and NSMB and Dirt, just kind of drank coffee and chilled. It was okay. Then met up with Terry for lunch, again perfect. Then kind of plans went a little bit south, and ended up humping sofas around and stuff anyway. So we're just going to have a bit more of we're going to do work today, but we're going to have a bit more of a chilled day. And there is, because of something that happened last night, there is a specific goal that I want to get out of today. It's May of 2017 right now, so that means spring is definitely here, and therefore summer's definitely on its way. Now that means that we're growing ever closer to the time and the date that I have in my mind of when I want Electric Landlady opened. So thinking about this last night, I decided, well look, the important thing about this place is one lesson that you get a harsh reality of is failing to plan is planning to fail. It's in a situation where it's one person working on their own. With Electric Landlady, stuff's pretty far away from the cabin, and so if you've got tools in the back of the car, leave them in there, and it's a long way back and forth to collect stuff. So having a plan of what you're going to do that day, what tools you're going to need, and what you're going to need to lug up here with you in the morning is just where you need to be. So last night I'm like, right, okay, let's do some sketches and drawings of the 3 features, and then I can plan where I'm at with them now and what I need to build in to get them to ready for opening. So I'm drawing away and I'm thinking, it's roughly like this. It's kind of, is that definitely here? You know, like some of the especially with some of the supports and things and some of the log placement, and it was close, and I'm like, I can't remember it completely, so went searching for some photos. I haven't got any decent photos of them, so that's number one job today. Get the photos for reference for when I'm at home, and I can draw up these sketches and therefore make plans. First things first then, the first feature on Electric Landlady. It turns out the sketches that I did for this one were kind of alright, they were there or thereabouts. The only thing that I'm thinking that I want to do is move where the landing zone's going to be back a little bit. Pretty much know the materials that I need for this one and how we're going to get this one going, so that's done. Just got to plan it out. I'm not going to lie to you, there's days where I can be in here full on ranting and raving to myself about how much I hate technology and it does my head in. On the flip side of that, I've just been able to take a load of photographs from all angles of this with my phone, which I can then take home and sit and have my tea and then chill out in the evening, upload those into Photoshop and start doing my planning and designing from there, and life's so much easier. Well, I'm using technology to do this. I do catch myself doing it, and I do catch myself going, it's doing my nut in, but really, you know, where would we be without it? Or life would be a lot harder without it. On this bottom kicker, I'm basically employing a technique that I had some success with last time, and just using some bits of old race tape just to mark out the rough kind of shape of the platform. We'll get down a little bit and you can have a look and see what kind of landing we've got. It's not actually, the platform is not going to be that high. It's roughly about waist height. The reason for that is because imagine these two little spindly things out. You've got all that to send down to, so you don't want to be sending from a ridiculous height, otherwise you're going to have no chance to get pulled up and get stopped. But there's a little bit of a kind of a natural hump in here. I'm going to have to make some decisions about do I utilise that as to form part of the landing, which might well be what I do. But there's a whole load of landing down here. Now the idea being that hopefully you can kind of kick up off there and have enough time in the air and have enough confidence in the amount of landing to kind of throw some shapes and get a bit of style off that last jump. So that's the plan. But we've got photographs of it. This one's a fairly easy one. It's literally logs just laid across until they're piled up in a triangular shape, and then dirt over the top. So construction wise, it's not complicated. It's very similar to some of the other methods that I've used before, but it should be a fun jump. Morning folks, Wednesday morning. I've just got back from Colin's house. Let's have a little look. And I've got some more pieces of timber. Now, chances are I've probably already got enough, but it was just outside his house. He said he wasn't using it. He said it was free, going spare, so to speak. And I suppose you can never have too much, really. Right, Wednesday evening, and a few supports in. There's more work to do tomorrow, but that'll do for now. It's late on Wednesday afternoon and I've realised that I haven't filmed anything. What happens is when I get into doing like the truss work and the stabilisation of it, or the actual woodwork of it, I have to be honest and say that that's kind of one of my favourite parts, and essentially I've just got carried away with what I was doing and putting these supports in and everything. So basically I've got to the end of the day, realised I've just been doing this and haven't filmed anything. So update on this would be, I've taken all the slats off of the top, the beds for them are there, and I've just got the slats piled up at the moment. But I've got all the supports in, because basically I don't want to have any spring in this. The logs have got quite a bit of spring in them, and having spring in the ramps, that's not the way forwards. It needs to be nice and solid and not going anywhere, so that you don't get that weird sort of spongy feeling when you're hitting it. Anyway, what's happened at the moment is everything's been cut, measured up and basically tacked in place. So the next job that I come over and do on here will be to bring the big drill and the big 6-inch screws and screw everything in and lock it in tight, and that will involve laying the beds back on, and then putting all the actual top slats on as well. So it'll be kind of like laying the beds and screwing everything in. It'll be kind of like the finishing things for the takeoff, and attention will have to be then turned to the I don't know if you can see from here, it'll have to then be turned over to where the ramp, the down slope is, and I'll have to start the digging out process for that, because the actual wooden part of the landing isn't actually what the landing's going to be. It's going to go way further down. I know I've probably spoke about this before. Let me just get up to the top here. So where the last 4 kind of finger logs poke out, the landing's actually going to go way on past that and be dug earth. So there's some wooden part to kind of catch you if it all goes a bit wrong, and then I'm presuming that most people won't use that. The main kind of wooden part where they can see the ends of the logs. I'm presuming most people aren't going to use that, because it's a fairly sizable takeoff ramp. I'm thinking they're going to fly over that, but it's there as a catch element, so to speak. And we'll dig it a lot further down and get it bolstered up. But it's getting quite late on, and it's not. Did I say it was Wednesday before? It's not Wednesday, it's Thursday. So it's getting quite late on. Tomorrow is track checks. I've got to be honest with you, I don't think there's going to be a lot of issues, because we've had nice sunshine like this. We had a couple of showers earlier in the week. The showers earlier in the week have just done the track, the power are good, but we'll get into all that tomorrow. Morning folks, Friday morning. I broke the chair last night. Sat down for a coffee and broke it. So got a bit of surprise woodworking this morning, and we'll fix up that first. I'm thinking though, to be honest, I'm probably gonna have to do both sides, to be fair, otherwise somebody else at the weekend is going to sit there and have the same thing that I did. So probably sort out both sides, shouldn't take too long. Right, sorted, it's back alive again now. I've really got to just stop trying to break stuff. Up at the top of Double Down now. I've about 20 minutes ago I did one of those Facebook live videos just to kind of show people what the conditions are like, and I suppose it gives people a chance to have a look prior to me uploading this tonight. If you missed that, I'll just give you a look, because there's a couple of pieces I've noticed on here that are kind of crazy. I don't know, a bit unusual. Like there's a bit here that's just like dust. What the hell? I mean, we had what? When was the last one? Yesterday. We had a shower yesterday. It was only a short one, I suppose, but it's just not lasting. I mean, look at the state of this. This is just, it's dust. Bit unusual for this place to be encountering dust, but it is what it is. Probably wouldn't do any harm. I mean, I mentioned this on the Facebook live video as well. Probably wouldn't do any harm for a bit of another shower again, just to tack things up. But you know, I'm not going to complain. It's great. It's great that it's warm. It's great that it's nice weather. One of the things that could probably do with is just a kind of mix of a bit of rain in the night. So anyway, I'm going to get a bit further down, Double Down, just checking it. Excuse me. Really, the track checks are super easy at the moment. It's just for like bits and pieces that are kind of on the track. Obviously it'll get even easier as a track like this, like Double Down, gets worn in. It's already got a few tyres down it last weekend, but that last weekend was the first time it was open, so you know, get a month down the line and it'll be a lot better. You can really sort of see sideways on where I was working yesterday now. That's going to be kind of cool that people can come down Double Down and you'll be able to see people hooking the wooden gap over there. I quite like, and then you've got the other gap just over there. So Double Down kind of nestles in between the pair of them. However, let's be honest, it's not like you really can look sideways and look at other things while you're riding down here, because it is quite twisty and turny, and generally you're more concentrating on the person you're riding against on the other track, so it's not like you're sightseeing on the way down here. So I'm pretty happy with how this week's gone. I managed to get all the struts and the braces into one of the features over an Electric Landlady. The weather's been kind to us. Track walk was a doddle today. All the conditions are good. I apologise now for if this vlog ends up going, excuse me, guzzled that a bit fast. If this vlog ends up going a little bit later up tonight and for the editing and the upload of it, it's because my eldest daughter's been away in London and she's just getting back tonight, so I want to kind of hang out with her for a bit before I sit down behind the computer again. Next week's an interesting week. I might be getting my new bike, so I'm very much looking forward to that, and I'll keep you updated as well. I'm trying to get sorted for the opening for the Thursday night, for the evening sessions. I might have mentioned previously that it's swapping from a Wednesday to a Thursday this week, and I'm pretty close with being able to get those up and running now, but I'll hopefully make an announcement over the weekend. Anyway, it's just time for me to do a little bit of tidying up, and then we'll call it a day. Thanks very much for your time, folks.